Vale. Hola a todos.
Hola a todos.
Vamos a empezar. A ver, vamos a empezar quitando esta música de ascensor. Primero. Vale. Así. Bueno. Pues aprovechando que el juego está gratis en Epic, vamos a ver qué tal está este de Stanley Parable. Vamos a empezar con la demo.
Sí, a ver, Stanley Parable es un juego, si no recuerdo mal, debe ser de en torno a 2013 más o menos. Es un juego que tiene fama de ser bastante original, porque, bueno, en principio fue un mod de Half-Life 2, como tantos otros. Y el juego, como digo, tiene fama de ser muy original, de ser un juego... No es un juego de acción, tampoco es un juego de habilidad. Es de estos que ahora se llaman Walking Simulator. Básicamente tienes que ir avanzando. Y la gracia está en el narrador, ¿no? Es un juego con un cierto toque filosófico acerca de la capacidad de elección, si realmente puedes elegir o no. Y bueno, y esto aplicado al mundo de los videojuegos, al hecho de realmente qué capacidad de elección tiene el jugador cuando se enfrenta a un videojuego, ¿no? O sea, realmente tú estás eligiendo o te están generando la ilusión de que estás eligiendo, pero en realidad pues todo va a girar en torno a una historia que el programador, que el guionista ya tiene perfectamente calculada y sabe por dónde vas a ir. Pues esta es la historia, ¿no? Más o menos la teoría de Stanley Parable, y nosotros vamos a empezar con la demo, porque al parecer la demo no es una demo del juego como tal, sino que encierra una historia diferente, o bueno, es una experiencia distinta que luego no se incluye en el juego. Así que vamos a empezar con la demo de Stanley Parable.
Vamos a ver, empezamos. Vale.
La
Bien.
demo de Stanley Parable.
Bien, bien, bien. Bueno, pues parece que es por aquí.
Welcome to the Stanley Parable demonstration. Your number is 28. When your number is displayed, please enter the demonstration room. Thank you, and have a pleasant demonstration.
Vale.
Vale, o sea, para empezar nos están troleando, ¿no? Nos están diciendo por dónde se va hacia la demo y nos han dado el número 28 para ver la demo. O sea, que telita, ¿eh? El número 28.
La sala de espera. Vale, bueno, pues nos toca esperar un poquito. Vamos a ver aquí el panorama. ¿Se puede hacer algo? ¿Se pueden coger cosas o...? A alguien se le ha caído una taza.
De todas formas, yo creo que esto también forma parte de la gracia del juego, ¿no? Es decir, ¿vas a esperar 23 números o te vas a colar?
No es tanto, solo quedan 4 y va rápido. Nos esperamos, ¿no?
Vale, vale, es tu elección. De eso va esto.
16... Hay que ser paciente, joder. Además, mientras cotilleas... 17... Y 28. ¿Y si se nos pasa el número?
Es otra elección que puedes hacer. Mira, demos famosas. Ahí está Metal Gear, por ejemplo. Qué bueno, Half-Life. Mira, que se nos pasa el número, se nos pasa el número.
No, si ya hemos entrado.
A ver si se nos va a colar otro.
Que no, que ya hemos entrado. Vale. Pues por Dios, qué horror de verde.
Oh, hello. Welcome to the Stanley Parable live demonstration. It will be my pleasure to guide you through this sneak peek and what to expect in the Stanley Parable. A tease, just enough to leave you hungry for more. How exciting. Can't you just feel that nervous tension? The looming uncertainty? why don't we drink in the anticipation for a moment, just for 20 minutes or so? Please, for just 20 minutes, don't move or act in any way. Simply remain motionless and let the thrill of demoing the Stanley Parable wash over you.
¿En serio?
Efectivamente nos están troleando.
Oh, I get it. You're too anxious you can barely hold still. Well, tell you what, I think we should walk off that nervous energy before getting the demo underway. Here, why don't I take you on a little tour of the facility and show you how we make a demonstration for a game like the Stanley Parable.
A ver.
Vale, pues parece que como la demo no está disponible, nos van a dar un pequeño tour por las instalaciones.
A ver, voy a subir un poquito. ¿Se oye bien?
Sí, porque además la demo no tiene subtítulos, ¿no? Me parece que no.
Creo que no.
No tenía opción.
Voy a subir bastante el volumen.
Bueno, pues eso, nos van a dar un tour por las instalaciones en las que han hecho la demo. Vamos a ver qué nos enseñan.
This is where I and the other proctors have been working meticulously to construct a demo that explains
Uy, perdón, ha sido mi culpa.
clearly and concisely exactly what the Stanley Parable is, how it plays, and why you should spend real-world money on the main game. Video game demonstrations are tricky, and without the proper technology, you run the risk of the player having no idea what to expect in the full version.
Vale. ¿Se oye ahora mejor un poco?
Sí, decía Asimov que estaba un poquito bajo el audio del juego.
Claro, si es que lo había dejado yo muy bajo.
Ahora lo hemos subido, Asimov. Coméntanos si se nota, ¿vale?
Demo admin.
Bueno, pues nada, parece que esto es donde están los
cabezas pensantes.
Los trabajadores de la demo.
Bueno, pues no hay ni uno. Por eso no está hecha la demo.
Ah, here is one such technology. These buttons are meant to convey the meaning of choice and the impact of the decisions you make. After all, choices carry tremendous meaning and consequence. Didn't you know that? Go ahead. Why don't you try picking one of these buttons to press, and we'll see what your choice says about you.
Vale, ¿cuál elegimos? ¿El de arriba del todo? ¿Uno arriba del todo?
Hombre, no que lleguemos. A ver.
How fascinating. Did you know that 94% of all people who select that particular button are sexual predators? You see, our choices really do illuminate the very intangible nature of our minds and souls. Pervert.
Esto... Dicen cosas feas, ¿eh? De ti.
Okay, what else can I show you then? This place is the buffalo of game design. Nothing is wasted.
Vale.
This device tells you whether or not you're inside a video game demonstration. Somewhere around here there's also a device that tells you whether or not you're inside a device that tells you whether or not you're inside a video game demonstration.
Vaya tela.
Vamos a ver qué hay aquí, qué hay aquí. Ah, mira, muy bien.
One of the most important parts of administering any demonstration is pumping up your ego and appealing to insecurities about your sense of self-worth. That's why we use this room to develop cheap compliments to shower on the player during the demo. Go ahead and press that button to see some of the superficial flattery we've been cooking up. My heavens, I've never met someone who can consume as much uranium in a single sitting as you can. Just look at you go.
Bueno, hay que reconocer que como demo es original, ¿eh? A ver, mira. La pared de la tecnología.
Now, I think you'll find this exciting. We've actually developed a wall that you can walk through. Go ahead, give it a shot.
Mira.
Qué chulo. A ver.
Vamos a atravesarla.
Como Harry Potter.
Oh, guess it's still in development. Right, okay, moving along.
Esto también pasaba en Harry Potter a veces.
Qué cachondos son.
How's the anticipation? Still feeling it?
¿Hay que poner?
Arriba. No funciona.
Vale, que no lo veía.
¿Dónde has entrado?
Now, here's what we
Perdón.
use to convey story. Ah, no, I get it. Can't risk experiencing emotions. Well, I must say, I have a certain respect for you and your cold, unfeeling husk of an existence.
Vale.
Now, we have to save at least a few emotions for the full game.
Vale, parece que aquí es donde se generan las emociones del juego, ¿no?
¿Por cuál empezamos? Venga. Aquí.
Was there, and within the shame he carried that ocean breeze did drift, the fierceness of the tides, the inevitable collapse of their kingdoms, washed ashore, bereft of shame, martyrs devoid of a cause, ripping and tearing at the eternal seams, a vessel without a captain, carrying itself like plastic in the wind, hinting at a purpose that was truer in some distant memory, if only it could decipher through time's veneer whose memory it wanted to be.
Ajá, de acuerdo. Y esto es... Despair.
Where did these cliffs go? These crags that we stood upon, they shielded us from our own ignorance, spoke coddling words and wrapped our vulnerabilities in a woolen cloth that so many times I tried to set aflame. If I knew these comforts now, would their fibers be any more sensitive to the heat of my touch? Perhaps it was the cold I desired most of all. That empress to whom my flesh was always invisible. A hammock for the bones, waiting to be touched and to be known.
Si no, deja Dynamo Stitch también, por ejemplo.
Vale, la pregunta es si realmente... O sea, ¿nos estamos haciendo una idea de qué va el juego con esta demo?
No sé, es que no sé ni qué es esta demo, directamente.
Arte, vale. Bueno, ¿qué nos queda por ver
Ah,
de las instalaciones?
papeles en el suelo, pues nos queda por ver el Final Choice
Venga, lección final.
y Exit. A ver, tenemos ahí una puerta cerrada. Do you like...
Ah, now this room is perhaps the most important you'll encounter in the demo. This is where we determine whether or not the demo has been effective, whether it's conveyed the wit... No! What are you doing? You can't make that decision yet. You haven't played the demo. We've put so much work into this demonstration. Wouldn't it be a shame if you rushed right into making a purchasing decision without savoring it first? Let this one simmer. You'll have plenty of time to decide later.
Vale.
Es que te has adelantado. claro.
Jolín, es el único... O eso me iba.
No. Hay que valorar las cosas conociéndolas. Tienen toda la razón. Venga, pues algo nos queda
A
por
ver,
ver.
pone aquí en Danger.
Gravity in effect. Te lo ponen al lado de la caída.
Ay, ¿qué es esto? Es verdad. Mira, esto no lo habíamos visto. Isolation Chamber. A ver. ¿Se puede pulsar aquí otra vez?
No, we've already seen this room. If
Oh.
it saves you the trouble of pushing another button, I can assure you that you're still a pervert.
Vale.
Pero bueno, pero esas cosas no se dicen.
¿Dónde vamos?
Pues vete por donde pone exit.
¿Sí? ¿Tú crees?
No sé, si no te dejan... Ya has visto todo, ¿no? Y no te dejan votar.
Jo.
And there you have it. Everything you need to know about how video game demos are made.
Hola. Quiero salir. Ahí va,
However,
¿ya sí ya?
it's still important that we address safety concerns. Please closely observe the following possible negative side effects of playing the Stanley Parable. If you agree to be held 100% responsible for any and all injury or long-term damage, mental, physical or otherwise, that may occur while playing the demo, please do not press the large red glowing disagree button at this time. Nothing? No objections? You're quite sure about that? Oh, Well, all right then. In the event that you do experience one or all of the previously listed symptoms, let's establish a signal for you to convey to me that you wish the demonstration to be terminated. Please step into the dance perimeter.
Mira.
Please perform a dance.
Ah, mira, lo tengo que hacer.
Your dance has been recorded. In the event that you feel confused or disoriented by anything you see inside the demo, perform that dance and I will terminate the demo immediately. Right. All preparations have been made. It is time at last. Are you prepared for the Stanley Parable?
Esto va a ser alucinante. Va a ser maravilloso.
Vamos para allá. Yup. Joder, qué cambio, ¿no? ¡Ah!
Oh, wait, what? What are we doing here?
Welcome to the
Did we not-
Stanley Parable demonstration.
¿En serio?
Your number is 29. When your number is displayed, please enter the demonstration room.
Bueno, no
Thank
había
you,
entrado nadie.
and have a pleasant
Nos están
demonstration.
troleando mucho.
Okay, I'm lost. Let's just get back to the green room and start the demo again. I must have done something wrong the first time.
No voy a esperar, ¿eh?
Venga, métete, métete. Me suena esto.
Okay, here we go. The Stanley Parable demo, take 2. Finding the
Take 2.
demo, learning exactly what the Stanley Parable is. Here it comes.
Ahí detrás de esta puerta nos espera un mundo maravilloso.
Bueno, ahora por lo menos hay otra cosa. A ver. Ay, que no. Ay, que no. Venga, que sí.
Oh, wait, what's this?
¿Un botón?
8. 8.
Wait. This is all wrong. This isn't the Stanley Parable. This is a
8.
game where you press a button and it says 8. Not only is the Stanley
8.
Parable not a game about continuously pressing the number 8, I can guarantee that this button does not appear anywhere in the main game. Why is
8.
it here instead of the demo for the Stanley Parable? Where did the
8.
demo go? There was an actual demo here before. Something has gone wrong. It's all gone horribly wrong. We need to get you out of here before you start forming impressions of the Stanley Parable based on whatever the hell this 8 game is. We need to get up. We need to
8.
start over. You mustn't stay here another minute. Out, out, out. Go, go, go.
Bueno, hay que reconocer que ha sido un poco decepcionante, ¿no?
Out.
Imagine if this had been the demo. What would you have been thinking? You'd have left with no idea what the Stanley Parable is about. None whatsoever.
Está cerrada.
¿Qué más quieres? Ya has pulsado el botón del 8.
Eso es todo. Vale. No sé a qué estoy jugando. ¿Estoy jugando? ¿Qué estoy haciendo?
Welcome to the
Yes,
Stanley
yes,
Parable
yes, we had it all the first
demonstration.
time.
Your number is 30. When your number is displayed, please enter the demonstration.
Vale, vámonos. ¿Cuál es mi coche?
Okay, now let's take a minute to get something straight here. When you sit down to play this demo, you are assuming an amount of responsibility for its outcome. Now, I can't say for certain whether you caused us to encounter the 8 game rather than the Stanley Parable, but I think it's a pretty safe assumption that you had something to do with it. At this time, please take a minute to think about all of the mistakes you've made in playing this demonstration, as well as your lack of respect for demo taking in general. Wonderful. I could really feel the introspection on my end. Now that we're all on the same page again, I feel ready to attempt the demonstration once more. In this third attempt, we shall truly come to understand the meaning of the Stanley Parable. Let the demonstration begin.
A ver si es verdad. Venga,
Venga, esta va a ser la buena.
Esto está muy negro, ¿eh?
Da igual, tiene que ser algo guay.
No, it can't be over yet. You didn't see anything. Everything that was supposed to demonstrate why the Stanley Parable is a quality experience worth your time and money. It was here somewhere, I'm sure of it. Oh, no. We have to get out of here. We have to find something for you to do, anything. The demo cannot end like this. Hurry, this way.
Bueno. ¿Dónde me lleva?
Okay, yes. This is new. This is different. Surely there must be a game somewhere in here. Okay. Oh, how about this cup? Yes, go pick up the cup.
Vamos a cogerla.
All right, now put it, in the bin.
¿En serio? Ups.
¿Y si la pones en otro sitio? Ni caso, ¿no? ¡Uy, va! Ha desaparecido.
Sí, no está. Vale, hemos liado. Ah, no, está ahí.
Ha atravesado el cuadro, qué bueno.
¿La puedo coger? ¿La has liado? Ah, no, vale. Jo.
You did it! You won! You know what you get for winning? An achievement. Wow, the Stanley Parable just keeps getting better and better. In
Loco,
fact,
choca.
let me take a little survey of your experience. Based on what you've played so far, would you purchase the Stanley Parable? You responded,
What a clear and straightforward demonstration of the merits of the Stanley Parable. I am convinced of the quality of the full game.
incredible. You really do get it. You understand. Oh,
Cada
I was
palabra.
so worried. I just wanted you to know what I see in the Stanley Parable, what I think makes it, well, special. It's so very difficult to put into words. Oh, we're all beyond that now, aren't we? Come along, let's get to the end and the final choice. Ending, where are you? Where are you? Is this it? Yes, the end. Now, this is where we want the demo to be over. And I think it's time for you to log your final decision as to whether or not the Stanley Parable is any good. And it all comes to this. Please consider very carefully before answering. Much is at stake.
A ver, ¿nos ha gustado o no nos ha gustado?
Hombre, a ver, como demo mola.
Está
Quiero decir,
cachondo.
se han esforzado en hacer algo que al parecer luego no es lo que sale en el juego.
Está cachondo.
Yo
Vamos a ver.
voto que sí, pulgar hacia arriba.
Yo también. Vamos a ver por aquí.
Los chicos están todavía llegando allí.
Lo sé, por eso estoy esperando.
Pulgar hacia arriba, ¿no? Venga, sí. Yo le daría pulgar hacia arriba.
¿No esperamos?
Es que se nos van a aburrir.
Venga.
Luego van a estar ahí viéndonos parados esperando.
Pues pulgar
5
hacia arriba.
segundos.
No esperamos. O sí.
Is it working? Are you sure? You sure you pressed the button? What? No, we finished the demo. Did it start again? Hello? Is anyone there? They already finished. They said they liked it. I need someone to stop the demo. Hello? We need to go back. We need to get out of here.
Jolines.
Ay, que me quedo enganchada.
La verdad es que el narrador está genial, ¿eh?
Es una pasada.
Oh no, what's going on? Where is everyone? Okay, over to the left, down this way.
Mira, donde antes no podías entrar.
Sí. Isolations.
Oh, nice and quiet. Finally. Well, I suppose we can both agree that I failed,
Ay, nos
haven't
decía
I?
Simov que le diéramos al no.
My
me
job was to be a
cachis.
teacher, and I
Perdón.
so badly wanted to teach you exactly what the Stanley Parable is supposed to be, but somehow I couldn't. Well, at any rate, I don't know if I care for the Stanley Parable anymore. Do you think any of this is actually in the main game? Honestly, I doubt it. What would that even look like? No, I think I've had enough of it. No more doors, no more demonstrations, no more endings. That's the other problem with this game. There's too many bloody endings. I'm sick of them. How can one game end so many times? It doesn't make sense. Oh, but back at the beginning of the demonstration now, that was lovely. No concerns about where it was all going. No confusion. Just a blank slate. Yes, that's what I want. A game of beginnings. Hey, do you remember, just a few minutes ago, when we met for the first time, and I showed you the technology used to make the demo, because I thought there actually was a demo. Oh, we were so naive back then. How little we knew of the world. And then, when we ended up back in the waiting room, even though you'd already done that before, yes, it's all so fresh in my memory. They were such wonderful moments. Oh, and then when we played the game with the cup and you won, and then we kept wandering and we ended up in a stairwell somewhere and we just kept climbing and climbing, flight after flight after flight. I thought they would never end. And then we were on some kind of catwalk. I didn't have any idea what was down there. Did you? And we just kept going and we found that elevator and it said escape on it.
Pero bueno.
We talked about it for a while. About how we couldn't possibly know whether this was really an escape, but it seemed worth a try, and at the very least it would be an adventure. So we got inside and we rode the elevator up and up and up. We had some sense that the end was coming, but we couldn't possibly know when. And then after so long, it finally stopped, and we stepped out into the lush outdoors, the trees, the wildlife, the sun rising on a new and glorious path. Freedom. We were free. There was nothing to think, nothing to know. Simply us being right there in that moment. Wasn't it so beautiful? Wasn't that moment so singularly, piercingly beautiful? We were free.
Y ahora estamos en una oficina. O algo, hay un montón de archivos.
Esto sí parece el final.
¿Ya? Vale.
Bueno, pues con esta demo ya está claro que todos sabemos de qué va a ser el juego, ¿no? Es una demo muy loca, ¿eh?
Ya te digo, yo no sé si está jugando o qué narices está haciendo.
Es una demo loquísima, pero me ha encantado el narrador.
A ver, sí, el narrador es una pasada.
Bueno,
Pues a ver, voy a quitar un momento esta pantalla.
A ver, Primi dice, acaba de llegar Primi, mientras cambias eso voy comentando
Sí.
esto. Acaba de llegar Primi y Primi dice, ponedme al día, please. Bueno, Primi, no sé cómo ponerte al día, ¿vale? A ver, estamos jugando, vamos a jugar a The Stanley Parable. Es un juego que dije antes que era en torno a 2013, lo he podido mirar mientras, es de 2011. Está basado en el motor de Half-Life, es un mod de Half-Life, luego lo han mejorado y tal y lo sacaron en Steam. Y nada, pues hemos jugado a la demo, porque la demo es una historia diferente a la del juego y ahora vamos a jugar al juego. La demo es loquísima, o sea, la demo se ha pasado todo el tiempo diciéndonos que nos iban a enseñar la demo y como la demo no funcionaba, nos han enseñado las instalaciones donde la han hecho, nos han enseñado el lugar donde generan las emociones del juego, donde generan, yo qué sé, nos han pedido 1000 opiniones sobre la demo, nos han tenido en espera antes de pasar porque había 28 delante, aunque no hemos visto a nadie. O sea, ha sido todo como muy loco, ¿vale? Al final no sé si hemos llegado a ver la demo, si no la hemos visto. Nos han troleado todo lo que han querido. Y nada, pues ahora vamos a ver el juego.
Sí, vamos a hacer un cambio y ahora mismo estamos aquí. Vale, pues ya estamos con The Stanley Parable, ya el juego oficial.
Sí, decía Primi, una demo troll, malditos programadores. Pues sí, tío, pero muy troll. Tienes que ver el vídeo, ¿eh? Cuando acabemos, mírate el principio, que está divertidísima.
Mira el ratón. En la pantalla de la pantalla.
Sí, estamos ahí en recursividad en la pantalla ahora mismo.
Bueno, pues vamos a empezar.
Venga, vamos a empezar. El juego sí que... La demo no tenía subtítulos, pero el juego sí. Así que hemos activado los subtítulos en español.
Vamos allá.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Vale, ya le tenemos.
Bueno, los subtítulos tienen ahí algún errorcillo que otro por lo que estamos viendo, pero bueno, se entiende más o menos.
A ver, vamos fuera.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Este solo tiene un sacapuntas. Este hacía mucho en la empresa. Uy. ¿He apagado el ordenador? ¿Lo puedo volver a encender? No. Oh.
Qué bueno, Zimov dice. Ya podían haber regalado un juego al aire libre. También es verdad, tío. Podían haber regalado, no sé, algún juego así de estos de pasearte por el campo, efectivamente.
A ver. No se puede mirar. No.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Vale, chicos, ahora sí vamos a esperar a ver. Dicen que Stanley entró por la puerta de la izquierda. ¿Entramos por la de la izquierda o por la de la derecha? Yo desde luego me metería por la derecha.
Derecha, sí.
Pero vamos a ver lo que dicen ellos. ¿Hacemos caso a la narración o nos salimos de la narración? En teoría es de lo que va esto. Pues no lo sé, Primi, si no le hacemos caso. Pero podemos no hacerle caso.
Que Primi dice que derecha también.
Venga, vamos a meternos por la derecha.
Espera. Simov.
Como la diga izquierda, ¿qué hacemos? Saliros. Por la ventana, ¿no? Va, yo no le haría caso. Él ha dicho que Stanley fue por la izquierda, yo me metería por la derecha.
Venga. Derecha.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Hombre, ¿dónde va a
Stanley
parar?
simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Hola, Carlos Blanza.
Hola, Carlos. A
But
ver.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Que pasando, ¿no?
Vale, nos dicen que entramos por la primera puerta de la izquierda. ¿Les hacemos caso?
Eso parece un sitio muy turbio, ¿eh?
Nada, vamos a seguir recto. Vamos a hacer lo contrario a lo que nos digan. Venga.
Venga.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ay, a ver. Do not lie. De no mientas, si estás mintiendo ahora mismo, para. Vale, bajamos. Vale, no saltes desde la... ¿Cómo se llama? Montacargas, ¿no? Mientras se mientras se mueve puede causar la muerte. Vale. A ver.
Look, Danny, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the
¿Saltamos?
wrong foot
No, no.
here.
Esto ya es
I'm not
demasiado.
your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've
Sí, tiene que
forgotten
te tires.
about. Please, stop
Joder, es
trying
que
to make
está
every
alto.
decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for
Es
me,
que no quiero que termine ya.
asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Sí.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Practice.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Pero vaya chapa.
Vale, nada, nos han dado un cursillo sobre elegir.
Vaya
Welcome back.
chapa.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Vale.
Bueno, pues nada, nos han echado la bronca, nos han dado un cursillo sobre elegir correctamente y parece que nos van a dar otra oportunidad.
Venga, tenemos otra opción. ¿Me tiro?
Yo creo que sí, ya que lo han pedido.
Now that we know your choices
Oh,
are
pero
meaningful,
no
we
puedo.
can't have you jumping off the
Pensaba que
platform
sí,
and
pero
dying.
no puedo, cachis.
Imagine the main
Ahí,
character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Adiós.
Qué bueno, te han predicho, o sea, han previsto que hicieras eso.
No me parece bien.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
¿Me van cerrando todo según paso?
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open
Izquierda, derecha.
doors, he entered the door on his left.
Aquí es donde nos empezó a torcer antes la cosa, ¿no?
¿Izquierda o derecha? Uy. Uy.
A ver qué dicen. ¿Izquierda o derecha?
Prim y derecha.
Derecha, ¿no? Por ahora. O sea, otra vez desobedecemos. Bueno, pues nada.
Por joder,
Hacemos-
venga.
Espera.
Ah, no,
espera,
vale,
que
espera,
Hacemos de izquierda, me caches en la mar. Carlos Blanza desempata. Izquierda, derecha.
Qué indecisión, por Dios.
Ti, 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 ti.
Venga, decídete.
Carlos Blanza está indeciso. Venga, Carlos Blanza, Stanley depende de ti. Stanley depende de ti, Carlos. Que te pasan el vídeo de decidir otra vez, si no, ¿eh?
Hostia, no.
Derecha. Venga, por derecha, 2-1. Vamos por la derecha.
¿En serio?
Sí.
Venga.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're
No
not
puedo.
too late.
Pues nada, vámonos otra vez. Para atrás.
Esto está un poco chungo, ¿eh? No nos deja.
Si ya sabía Asimov que era izquierda.
¡Oh!
It's ruined. I
¿Qué ha pasado
can't
aquí?
believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Vale. No.
Madre mía, ¿pero qué ha pasado aquí? La hemos liado parda, ¿eh?
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Joder.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard.
Me siento mal.
Is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Bueno,
Aquí estamos de nuevo.
ya estamos aquí.
¿Qué? ¿Izquierda directamente? ¿Le hacemos caso a Asimov esta vez?
Venga.
Venga, izquierda directamente.
La sala de
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
A ver las diapositivas. Bueno. Muy bien. Maravilloso. Y espera, vete a la izquierda un segundo, que había
Sí.
un dibujo de una papelera o algo, ¿no? En la
Aquí.
que decía ahí.
Ay.
Tira algo en la papelera de las ideas.
Sí.
1. No more beans. Vale, fantástico.
Uy, aquí pone algo. Better safe than profits. A ver, bien. A ver, aquí también.
No.
Ya. No. A ver. Esta estaba antes, pero rara. The future was yesterday. Tomorrow is now. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper.
Contrata a alguien para despedir a otro, ¿no? Básicamente,
Sí.
te dice ahí. Tareas pendientes. Contratar a alguien para despedir gente.
Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items.
Mañana hacer lo que has dejado ahí pendiente y escribir lo que estará pendiente para pasar mañana. Decía Carlos que si está por ahí la papelera de las ideas. Que si se puede
Pues
hacer
vamos
algo
a
con
ver.
ella o algo. Yo tengo la impresión de que este juego no va mucho de interactuar con objetos.
No, es más de ir por ahí. Viendo las bobas que han hecho.
Pues nada, seguimos por ahí, dando vueltas.
Voy. No puedes volver para atrás, ¿no? No, te cierran los caminos. Mira, a la sala de limpieza.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Estas salían en la demo, estas escaleras.
Sí, es verdad.
Al final.
Oh,
Bueno, como se nota que aquí está el jefe, ¿no?
ay, me enganché. Bueno. Business time. Qué oficina más rara.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath
¿Lo decimos o no?
and then spoke the code.
Si no, no hay mucho que hacer aquí, ¿no?
Vamos a darle tiempo, a ver. Vamos a mirar por la ventana.
Está nublado.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Se está impacientando. Nos va a echar otra bronca.
A ver, aquí
Nos
qué
va a
hay.
poner otro vídeo instructivo.
I'm sorry, is there a
son-
problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Estos son libros caros, ¿eh?
Hmm.
Tienen lomos ahí de esos...
Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect.
Te lo
The
dije,
kind of
Carlos.
respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward.
Uf.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Estoy arriba. ¿Lo vemos desde arriba?
Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please.
Mira, estamos viendo a Stanley.
Make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you
¿En serio?
listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything
No puede
all
ser.
right?
Quiero otra.
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me?
Whatever
Quiero
choice you
otra.
make is just fine. They're both correct. You can't be
Ni
wrong here. We
siquiera
can
me creo
work
que se haya
together.
acabado.
I'll
Si esto
accept
es una
whatever
troleada
you do. I
tras
simply
¿Están
need
con
you
los
to take that
créditos?
step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need
Otra.
this. The
Otra.
story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide.
Que sí, que esto se ha
Time to
acabado.
make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
No puede ser, no puede ser.
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do.
Te van a dejar ahí para siempre.
No puede
As much
ser.
time as you need.
¿En serio?
¿En
Te
serio?
van a dejar ahí.
No, a ver, ya no me puedo mover, vale. A ver, vuelvo al despacho.
Pero es diferente.
Esto es diferente, sí.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Está diciendo lo mismo, pero es una oficina distinta.
Pero ¿quién ha hecho este juego?
Bueno, chicos, izquierda o derecha.
Sí, id diciendo izquierda o derecha. Bueno, mejor dicho, porque no sabemos qué nos va a decir. Hacia donde nos diga o hacia donde no nos diga. Porque aquí no se abre nada más, ¿no? No hay nada ni nada. Es que no se pueden coger cosas.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Pues él nos sigue diciendo que vayamos a la izquierda.
Desobedece.
Hombre,
Desobedece.
yo me quedo con las ganas de ir por la derecha a ver si nos deja tirarnos, que lo dijo antes Primi. Molaría tirarnos.
A ver, el suicida este.
Bueno, yo creo que vamos a ir por la derecha. Para no-
Pasando lo que dicen, ¿no? Vale.
Sí, porque si no les vamos a tener...
This was
esperando.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Pero de todas maneras este juego es en bucle. O sea, terminas
Wow.
y te vuelven...
Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider.
Pues sí.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
De frente, ¿no?
Sí, yo
Sí.
creo que este juego no se acaba nunca, que siempre te llevan al principio.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Vale, ahora no tenemos vallas.
Eso es, pero espérate a que suba, vale, tírate desde arriba del todo.
¿Desde arriba del todo?
Sí.
Pero estás loco.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your
Me voy a
enemy,
tirar este
really,
pasillo a ver
I'm
si
not.
puedo.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that
Igual
the
por tu
story
derecha.
has been about nothing but you, or what? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of
You're
this,
everywhere.
but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Dos puertas otra vez.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Vale, ¿roja o azul?
Ahora sí esperamos, ¿no? Primi dice que azul.
Venga, pues azul. A partir de ahora, el que diga primero
Pues ala.
se la lleva.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red
Vale.
door.
Pues lo siento.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing
Ya he dado
us,
5
Stanley?
vueltas aquí, ¿no?
I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Ay, qué negro está esto.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
¿El espacio?
Here.
¿Qué es esto?
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Eso es muy feo. Madre mía.
No,
Esto está sin
wait.
terminar.
Where are you going?
Uy, pero mira por abajo.
Right. Where were we?
Bueno, ya, ¿no?
Sí, por milla.
Es que este se enfada.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Bueno, dice que volvamos, pero tú no vas a volver, ¿no?
Pero que me voy a caer de unas escaleras. ¿No me he matado antes desde el elevador ese? ¿De montacargas? Me voy a matar ahora.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
Le ha gustado también eso, ¿eh? ¡Ah! Ese es que no hay más historia.
Vale, ¿nos tiramos? ¿Sí? ¿No?
Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing. No! Oh, thank God you lived.
¿En
You
serio?
had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Jolín. ¿Y qué hacemos aquí?
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can
Te puedes tirar
both
por
be
aquí,
happy.
¿eh?
We really can. If we stop moving, we just have
Vale,
to
solo
stop
tenemos que dejar de
moving.
movernos. A ver. No me estoy moviendo.
¿Nos tiramos?
No me deja.
¿No te puedes tirar?
No.
Es suelo todo.
Sí. No, no suelo, no me deja salir de esta circunferencia.
Bueno, yo creo que ya está, ¿no?
A ver. Narrador.
Nos vamos, ¿o qué?
No hay nada. Qué petardo.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
ver si me mato Erenicias. Jolín.
No. No, no, what are you doing? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
Que se mueva algo. ¡Boom!
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
¡Boom!
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask.
Ay.
It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Dice Carlos que si puedes entrar por esa puerta, imagino que no.
No, no. Eso, está abierto o está cerrado, no puedes... ¡Boom!
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Bueno, está gracioso de tirarse por ahí.
¡Tachán! Y diciendo izquierda o derecha.
Teclea, teclea. A ver.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
También podíamos cambiar y hacerle caso en todo, a ver qué pasa, ¿no?
Puede ser. ¿Hacemos caso entonces?
Sí.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Vamos a ver. La oficina del jefe. ¿Puedo ir hacia
Coming to
abajo?
a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
A ver qué hay abajo.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts.
Sin atajos.
And when he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Bueno, esto va alcanzando cotas cada vez más extrañas.
No, esto drogadura, ¿eh?
Jolín.
Aquí estamos.
Mira la oficina del principio.
Sí.
Pues nada, izquierda a derecha.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
A ver qué pasa.
Venga.
Y también me queda con las ganas de ir a donde el jefe y poner el código ese, a ver qué pasa con la puerta.
A ver. Esto está raro. Ya hemos llegado. Vale.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. What was but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yo no sé cómo es ver esto, pero de verdad que
Stanley was so
jugarlo es
bad at
drogadura,
following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years
Pues
ago.
verlo no te diría yo que es peor, porque no sé por qué motivo el directo que hicimos antes de The Room
Look,
se veía
Stanley, I think
súper
perhaps,
suave,
but in his
estaba
eagerness to
viéndose un
prove
poquito
that
más
he is in
altos.
control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and
Muerto.
plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Vale.
Pues desde arriba del todo, no.
¿Qué hacemos? ¿Nos vamos a ver al jefe a ver si metemos el código en la puerta?
All of his
Vamos
co-workers
a hacer
were...
una prueba más
Wait,
por la derecha.
no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
La última ya.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
extraña que
he
vaya
entered that
tirones,
this
el
was
ordenador
not
tiene
the
que estar
correct
loco.
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
¿Qué vas a hacer?
Voy a ir...
Stanley was so
Antes,
bad at following
cuando hemos
directions, it's
cruzado
incredible
con
he
el-
wasn't fired years ago.
Con el montacargas, algo hemos hecho. Voy a ver.
Look,
Creo que
Stanley, I
podemos
think
hacer
perhaps
otra
we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Es que ahora no me
I'm
acuerdo.
not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Ah, esto, sí.
That's her,
Venga, vamos a
Stanley.
coger el teléfono, a ver
You
qué pasa.
need to be the one to do this.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Qué locura.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Pero si me he muerto 20 veces ya.
Presiona
Stanley
el
is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he
Uy, esto está
returned to
cambiando.
work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
¿Y ahora le vas a hacer caso? ¿No le vas a hacer caso?
Ya, no lo vamos a hacer, venga. O sea, no voy a apretar nada.
Vale, pues si es para ir a trabajar, no le vamos a dar, ¿no?
No.
Tu.
No sé, ya tengo aquí todo montado.
Sí, te han puesto el teletrabajo también.
Mira, el tiempo pasa.
Sí, ¿no? Sí está pasando. Al final no van a hacer pulsar el botoncito.
Pues sí, nos van a hacer pulsarlo. Ya es demasiado tiempo. Me parece a mí. ¿O no?
Sí.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Por favor,
and Stanley
muera.
pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Dice Primi, por favor, qué juego. Dios mío, qué juego más. No sé cómo calificarlo. Pues Primi, no has visto la demo, tío. Pero es que ahora mismo, o sea, cuando acabamos la demo dijimos, no tengo ni idea de qué va el juego. O sea, la demo me ha molado, me he divertido y tal, pero no sé de qué va a ir esto. Ahora mismo comprendo perfectamente la demo. O sea, la demo es un reflejo perfecto de lo que luego va a ser el juego.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
Enseñan
simply
las
missed a
instalaciones
memo.
donde hacen la demo, pero acabas por no ver nada más. Y dices, es que realmente es súper fiel a lo que te van a enseñar luego en el juego.
Venga,
When
izquierda,
Stanley
derecha.
came to a set of 2 open doors,
Pues,
he entered the door on his
Yo ya
left.
digo, me quedé con las ganas de ver qué pasa
Izquierda,
si le
¿no?
pones el código en la puerta del jefe.
Venga. Vamos a terminar todos gaga.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Anda, ahora es diferente.
Sí, antes había unas escaleras.
Sí. Muy amplio.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number,
Te han cambiado el código.
Sí. Y esto también es
2845.
diferente. Antes era por
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2, 8.
4 o 5. Pon otro código, a ver qué pasa. Pues lo lógico, claro.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Bueno, ya sabes que nunca hay que bajar al sótano, ¿eh? Siempre es mala idea bajar
A
al
ver.
sótano.
Igual aparecemos en el
Descending
ático. Ese
deeper into the
gesto.
building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Vale, instalación de control mental. Escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Creo que no quiere que vayas por aquí.
Ostras, igual yo tampoco. ¿Muerte violenta?
Pero si te has tirado 3 veces desde las alturas, ¿qué más te da que te maten violentamente?
The door
ahora?
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nada, nada. A lo hecho pecho.
¿Pa'lante?
Pa'lante.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
A ver, estamos a tiempo.
Tú piensas que si te das la vuelta siempre te vas a preguntar qué hubiera pasado, sí. Además, ¿qué puede salir mal? ¿Una luz roja? ¿Extraños gases?
Me has convencido.
Vale, fantástico. ¿Y te van a llevar al principio?
Espero que no.
Ah.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Bueno. Me toca. ¿Qué siguiente? Plus. Uy.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Uy, me he librado. Por aquí o por acá. Por ahí hay cajas. Vamos para allá.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Bueno, esto parece un templo
When
romano o algo
every
así, ¿no?
path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Vaya tela. ¿Y esto qué es?
Un museo, parece.
Cuadros de naturaleza.
Mira, el ordenador de Stanley.
Es un museo del juego. Y eso... Ah, mira, eso es la oficina.
Sí. A ver. Pasillo. Las dos puertas.
Las dos
Las
puertas.
malditas dos
A ver
puertas.
qué pone.
Voy.
Las dos puertas fue lo primero que hicimos en el diseño de Stanley Parable. Una vez que creamos esta habitación, el resto del juego surgió como una extensión de esta parte. O sea que, en serio, estamos en un museo. Dentro del juego han hecho un museo del juego.
Mira.
Es lo último que nos esperábamos ya, ¿eh?
Sí, mira, es la oficina de Stanley, luego el pasillo este. Sí, sí. Bueno.
Maravilloso, dice Asimov. Original un rato, mira. Ordenadores de la oficina.
Ah, los apago.
Sí, pero en uno estaban con el solitario. ¿Y en ese estaban cargando un juego de Spectrum, puede ser?
No lo sé, ya no lo puedo encender.
Luego lo revisaré en el vídeo, pero juraría que estaban cargando un juego en cinta, ¿eh?
Botones.
¿Qué pone el cartel? Una selección de los sonidos que se utilizan en el juego cuando se pulsan los botones. Cada sonido es una mezcla de una pulsación de teclado y un tono de sintetizador.
Vale.
Créditos.
Muy bien. Ahí en mármol. Claro que sí. Al final no hemos visto esto, ¿no?
No, porque nos hemos ido por el lado del escape.
Jo. Es que hay muchísimas cosas que ver. Tomas del narrador. Uy, bueno.
Kevin Writing, la voz del narrador, grabó diálogo para todo el juego. 2 años.
¿Pero te has escuchado todo lo que habla ese hombre?
Sí, no, y además dice que
2 años me parece poco.
Dice que estos son extractos que nos usaron en el juego.
Encima.
Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you pick up on intuitive.
De ahí vienes, ¿no?
Sí, es que ya no hay salida.
Sí, al fondo a la izquierda,
¿Al
¿no?
fondo a la izquierda?
Ah, no.
No me quieras liar tú. Encima. El reloj.
El reloj de la oficina, aquí expuesto en el museo, claro.
Freedom Ending.
Ese no lo hemos pillado, ese final.
No.
O sea, todavía hay más cosas que no hemos visto.
Pero hay muchas cosas. ¿Esto qué es?
Eso tampoco lo hemos visto.
No. Forbes.
Eso es parte de lo mismo.
Sí.
He visto también en la pared una captura, un cuadro que es una captura de la pantalla de pausa. Mira, eso es lo de las dos puertas.
Sí.
A la izquierda obedecer, a la derecha desobedecer.
El teléfono.
La oficina.
Esto... Uf.
Capturas. Estoy flipando.
Madre
Han hecho
mía,
un
es que
museo
esto
del
es una
juego.
pasada.
Fotocopiadoras.
Esto es otra vez esa sala. A ver, vamos para atrás. Por aquí.
Esto tampoco lo hemos visto, ¿no?
No.
Zona de guerra. Al comienzo del desarrollo...
Espera, me pongo más al centro. Ahí.
Al comienzo del desarrollo diseñamos un final en el que Stanley terminaba en un campo de batalla luchando contra alienígenas.
Toma.
Juego de acción... Bueno, nos dimos cuenta poco después de empezar a hacerlo que quedaba demasiado far to jockey. ¿Qué quiere decir eso? Bueno,
Demasiado.
que no cuadraba con el tono general del juego y además algunas personas lo interpretaban como reírse de la gente a la que le gustan los shooters, lo cual no era nuestra intención. O sea que esta parte directamente es que no está en el juego. Es algo que, mira, la base Alien, algo que estuvieron ahí barajando pero no hicieron. Es un poco Tron, ¿no? Ese
Sí,
cuadro.
mucho. Aquí ya hemos estado, sí.
Sí, el teléfono y tal. Sí, vamos, yo creo que más o menos hemos visto el museo entero, ¿no?
¿Por dónde se sale de aquí?
Vamos a ver, trailers.
No, no, quita.
Espera, no, espera. Ponía que se les acabaron. Ah, no, que hicieron 4 teasers durante el desarrollo del juego, cada uno para enseñar un aspecto distinto del juego. Este es el primero que salió en mayo de 2012 y bueno, pues eso, vale, vámonos.
Pues me imagino que una locura, como todo aquí.
Que alguien me recuerde antes de hacer el próximo directo que quite las notificaciones de Steam.
A ver, por aquí se sale.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Bueno, pues habrá que apagar eso, ¿no? Ya que hemos venido aquí. Y efectivamente
Can
lo
you
hemos
see?
apagado.
Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save
Pero
these
bueno.
two.
Otra
You
vez.
can stop the
Desde
program
libre
before they
esto, no
both
me voy a
fail.
librar, no me voy a librar.
Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now. It'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time choose.
Catacrash. ¿A que te llevan a la oficina?
Tú verás.
¿O no? ¿O se ha acabado y ya está?
No lo sé. De momento no hace nada. Lo hemos roto. Hemos conseguido romperlo.
O eso, o son capaces de haber troleado tanto que dicen, venga, ya está, se muere, se queda la pantalla en negro y se acabó.
Hola.
Yo creo que podríamos darle a comenzar, ¿no?
Aquí.
A ver, ¿qué nos quedaría por ver? Nos quedaría por ver...
Lo del mind control.
Ah, vale, pues venga, si eso, empezamos partida y vamos para allá, porque yo creo que esto se ha quedado ahí, ¿eh? Además, la intro se puede pasar. Ah, mira, pero no te la ponen.
Ni te la ponen, ¿no?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Venga,
Stanley
vamos a ver qué hay
decided to
en
go
el
to the
mind
meeting room.
control.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
¿Qué pone? The end is...
It's never the end. The end is never... El final nunca es el final.
No, ya nos hemos dado cuenta, sí.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Y ya, esta es la última.
Sí, vamos a ver lo que pasa en la instalación de control mental y yo creo que lo dejamos.
He perdido como 5 puntos de cordura.
Person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Sí, es que lo ha dicho, pero...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Y tal, y tengas tú que reiniciarlo.
Pero es que como también te están troleando todo el rato, pues yo qué sé, ya no sé qué creer y qué no creer y... ¡Ah! Ya te digo, 5 puntos de cordura menos.
Manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
¿En serio? Pues nada, nos sentamos tranquilos.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Hala, venga. Vamos, Stanley. Pero sí, así no es como os imagináis cuando metéis un juego de estos nuevos que te dice tiene que bajarse 2 gigas de actualizaciones. ¿Que te lo han vendido así?
Todo ahí de cartón y con las paredes sin acabar, ¿no?
Venga. Vamos ya. Ahora sí que sí. Bueno, esto realmente es un juego de 20 minutos que estamos tardando la vida, ¿no?
Sí, el juego te lo puedes acabar...
Si siguen las órdenes...
Claro, en un momentito. Pero claro, es que es muy poco. Tiene muchas más variaciones por lo que estamos comprobando.
Venga,
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Cámaras y todo.
Instalación de control mental. Y hemos entrado voluntariamente.
Botón. Dar botón.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Más escritorios. Botón.
Cámaras.
Now the monitors
Luces,
jumped
cámara y acción.
their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Vale, ¿ahora qué? ¿Te vas a tirar?
No sé, ahí hay colillas. No puedo. Mira, ahí hay colillas, justo. ¿Y ahora qué? Mira, un pasillo aquí.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Mira, estos son los botones de antes, ¿no?
Sí, que sonaba cada uno de una manera.
1, 2. Un botón rojo. No hace nada. 5.
Ahí hay uno al fondo.
Ay, ay. Ah, sí, y aquí, es verdad. 3. Ahí hay uno arriba. ¿Harán algo? ¿O estoy haciendo el bobo?
Bueno, hay que probar. Cuando se ve un botón hay que tocarlo, está claro.
4.
Ya te haces preguntas, en plan, instalación de control mental. Me han puesto aquí estos botones para que yo los vaya pulsando. Saben perfectamente que lo voy a hacer aunque no sirva de nada.
5.
Nada, ¿no?
Nada.
Tienes ahí una puerta que pone que ahí está el sistema de energía.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
La apagamos, ¿no?
Sí, sí.
Esto no está bien.
La he apagado.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
¿Y ahora vas a hacerlo? ¿Te vas a dar la vuelta?
Ostras, es verdad, tengo la opción, ¿no? No, está cerrado. Bueno. ¡Libertad!
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Bien.
Bueno, pues mira, ha sido una forma bonita de acabar, por lo menos, ¿no? Con Stanley feliz y esas cosas, y los
Pues
pájaros
sí.
y el campo. No sé, otra vez aquí.
Yo creo que ya, ¿no?
Sí, yo creo que ya, porque podríamos volver allí, en vez de apagarlo, darle al botón de encendido, al control mental, pero al final vamos a tardar un buen rato en repetir otra vez lo mismo que ya hemos visto. Y bueno, yo creo que nos hemos hecho una buena idea, ¿no?
Pero es que además os voy a cambiar de pantalla porque antes de empezar el juego hemos visto esto. Si quiere cambiar. Vale, toda la razón del mundo. No se oye. Culpa mía también. Vamos a ver, es que
Culpa del narrador, que es el que lo estropea todo.
Ahora-
Ha sido el narrador el que ha hecho que no se nos oyera.
ahora no sé si voy a poder. A ver, sí. Sí, ahora sí se ve. Vale. Ahora sí. Vale, pues lo que os decía, que hemos visto, bueno, he visto esto en la página de mz.com, hemos dicho,
Sí, lo pone abajo a la derecha.
para que podáis ver el tipo de mente que ha hecho este juego con tantas ramificaciones y tantas historias.
Sí, yo estaba pensando que, bromas aparte, es una experiencia curiosa, porque al final piensas que, bueno, que esto no es más que una evolución más sobre los videojuegos, ¿no? Es una forma más de jugar, es un tipo de videojuego que hace a lo mejor 20 años esto hubiera sido totalmente imposible, pero a día de hoy la verdad es que tenemos cualquier opción para jugar. Es que tienes lo que tú quieras. ¿Quieres un arcade directo? Lo tienes. ¿Quieres una experiencia un poquito más sesuda? Pues las tienes. ¿Quieres algo que se salga un poco más de lo que es un videojuego al uso estándar? Pues por ejemplo tienes esto, que es un poquito como metaanálisis de los videojuegos y yo creo que juegan, nunca mejor dicho, con esa idea de realmente qué capacidad de elección tiene el jugador cuando se enfrenta a un videojuego. Porque muchas veces tienes esa impresión de que tienes una gran capacidad de elección, pero en realidad la tienes, en realidad hay un camino ya prefijado que prácticamente siempre pues es así, ¿no? Y bueno, pues a mí me ha parecido una experiencia curiosa, sobre todo porque también o sea, te ríes, te parece divertido, pero te hace pensar y ha habido momentos como el momento este en el que el narrador decía algo así como: lo único que quiere Stanley es volver a su rutina, a su vida, que le digan cómo pulsar los botones, no pensar demasiado, ¿no? Pues que muchas veces también eso, ¿no? Y quizás también ahora en los momentos que estamos viviendo, ¿no? Que dices: "Joder, yo quiero mi rutina, quiero mi día a día, ¿no? Levantarme, hacer las cosas que tengo que hacer y cumplir con mi función en la sociedad y no comerme demasiado la cabeza, ¿no? Y luego resulta que estás inmerso en esa rutina y lo que quieres es otra cosa, ¿no? Quiero elegir, quiero poder salir, etcétera, etcétera. Entonces, bueno, me ha parecido una experiencia curiosa. Y dice Asimov, sí, dice, la narración tiene cosas del Deus Ex Machina. Sí, o sea, si es que en realidad es eso. O sea, a mí me ha parecido, como digo, una experiencia distinta. No había jugado a un videojuego como este. No sé tú, Elena, si conocías algo parecido o...
No, de hecho, yo sé que tú sabías algo de la demo, pero el juego no. Yo no sabía nada de nada. Entonces, claro, me he metido aquí en este fregado.
Claro, yo este juego lo compré, pues debió ser eso, en 2013-2014 en Steam, en una de estas ofertas que te dicen, venga, pues 90%, y que debía estar el juego a €1. Y tenía muchas ganas de jugarlo desde entonces, porque es verdad que había probado un poquillo la demo, ya no me acordaba de nada, pero sí que sabía que la demo era algo completamente diferente al resto del juego. Y coincide que esta semana este juego y Watch Dogs, los dos están gratis en Epic, y eso me lo ha traído a la mente y he dicho, venga, pues vamos a jugarlo. Y bueno, pues experiencia nueva que te llevas con esto de los videojuegos.
Yo lo que no he visto es la línea esa amarilla, porque, bueno, al buscar fotografías imágenes, para hacer los montajes y tal, había muchas cosas con una línea amarilla. Yo no he visto esa línea amarilla.
No.
O sea, que tiene que haber todavía más.
Sí, claro, a ver, nosotros habremos visto bastante, supongo, del juego, porque tampoco es un juego largo. Pero tiene que haber más bifurcaciones, más opciones, más momentos en los que a lo mejor puedas llevar la contraria y abras otras vías. Tiene que haber más. Ya luego, pues eso, cada uno aprovechando, como digo, que el juego está gratis. Si lo quiere, pues ahí lo tiene. A €0. Si lo quiere bajar, probar, intentar encontrar otras vías, otros caminos. Porque esa es otra, Hay además decorados muy diferentes, Tiene ambientes muy distintos el juego.
Sí.
Y lo del museo, Lo del museo me ha dejado loquísimo.
Es una pasada. La verdad es que sí.
Se han currado un museo entero. Pues nada, yo creo que lo podemos ir dejando, ¿no?
Pues sí, muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Esperamos que no hayáis terminado con la cabeza medio loca, que seguramente sí.
Y recordamos, como hicimos en el directo de antes, ¿vale? Mañana directo de Retro entre Amigos, a las 6 de la tarde.
A las 6 en su canal de YouTube.
Sí, no recuerdo ahora si era YouTube, Discord, un poco de todo.
Creo que era YouTube.
Era
¿no?
YouTube. Bueno,
¿Discord? ¿Tienen Discord?
Yo creo que tienen de todo.
¿Sí?
Retro entre Amigos tienen de todo.
¿Sí?
Sí. Pero bueno, a las 6 de la tarde mañana, directo de Retro entre Amigos. Ahí estaremos, que seguro que nos vamos a reír muchísimo con ellos.
A ver, espera, que está diciendo algo Primi. A mí me ha dado muy mal rollo. Es un juego que te deja tocado con algunos comentarios.
Claro, yo he comentado, yo he hecho referencia a uno de ellos, el tema de la rutina y tal. Y sí es cierto que es un juego que puedes extrapolar lo que estás viendo más allá del mundo del videojuego a tu vida real. Lo decía Asimov al principio también, que también la vida real era así, ¿no? En el tema de elecciones. Y es verdad, si te pones a pensarlo, te da que pensar, ¿no? En cuanto a tu capacidad de elección, en cuanto a cómo obedecemos, muchas veces sin saber que estamos obedeciendo, simplemente pues porque, hacemos lo que se espera de nosotros, que muchas veces nos puede beneficiar, otras veces no, pero en realidad a veces igual no somos muy conscientes, ¿no? De si estamos haciendo algo porque realmente estamos eligiendo hacerlo o porque nos han empujado a elegir esto. Bueno, pues sí, da un poco de mal rollo. De todas maneras, ya digo, el juego está ahí gratis, es una experiencia más y es un ejemplo más de lo que puede aportar el mundo del videojuego a lo que para mí es, sin duda alguna, el mundo del arte. No tengo nada más que decir.
Muy bien, pues nada, muchas gracias por estar ahí, muchas gracias por habernos acompañado y nos vemos en la siguiente y si no, mañana a las 6 viendo a Retro entre Amigos. Un abrazo.
¡Un abrazo!